Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of Supernatural Season 5, Episode 21, the penultimate episode of the season. So, this episode, as the last episode, wasn't too big in advancing the story. This one, oh boy, do we advance the story. So, we start off with like a normal Supernatural type caper thing. Pestilence is at a old folks' home, and he's killing them because that's what he does. I gotta say, the guy who plays Pestilence, he's great. Like, he's really good at, like, the soft, calm, soft talking voice. Like, he was really good at that. So Sam and Dean, they show up, obviously. They sadly succumb to sickness because, he's Pestilence. How could I forget the beginning of the episode where they get a call from Castiel. Castiel shows up. Well, he doesn't show up. He calls them and basically tells them that he woke up in a hospital and he feels human. He doesn't have his angel power. He's not an angel anymore. He's just human, which is whoa. I guess doing that angel thing on yourself wasn't the best idea. So yeah, Castiel does show up to help them, but he also succumbs because he's not an angel anymore. However, while Pestilence is mocking Castiel, he's like, "Aw, little angel baby, you gonna cry?" Bully Maguire and him. Castiel pops up with a knife, cuts his finger off, grabs the ring. Pestilence is just like, it doesn't matter. And he goes away. They're like, why doesn't it matter? Well, Pestilence and Brady were teaming up, and they have a vaccine going out for the new outbreak of swine flu, which Pestilence has been spreading. But the vaccine is, of course, just a virus, and the virus pretty much makes people zombies. They explain, they show it by people aren't they aren't decaying, but their irises and their eyes are red. So that's how they show they're infected with the virus, and they need to be put down. There's no saving them. So that's what Sam, Bobby, and Castiel go do. Dean, meanwhile, goes with Crowley to find Death, and Death is in Chicago. Death's introduction, man, is sweet. I love the introduction to Death in this. Death was awesome. Now, this is just a personal nitpick, personal opinion. I love it when Death is portrayed as a woman. That's just me. Like in Doctor Who, or in the stuff when Neil Gaiman has done. Personally, I just prefer, DC Comics, that's just my personal opinion. I just like it more when Death's a woman. There's no other reason. That's just how I prefer it. But I mean, it's not something that kept me out of the episode. It's just just my little nitpick of I wish it was. But that's just my personal opinion on how I feel about personifying Death. I just always imagine Death as the goth, Neil Gaiman's Death, which is the pale goth girl. But anyway. Death's introduction in this episode was sweet, though. Guy brushes him in the shoulders, says, "Watch where you're going." Death just looks over at him, and he dies. Crowley eventually finds Death for Dean. Death in a pizzeria, waiting for Dean. Crowley gave Dean a Death's scythe thing, and he's like, "Oh, it can kill everything. Pretty much. Angels, demons, whatever. It can kill anything." So Dean goes in to the pizzeria. He sees all the employees and customers are dead. There's a guy face down dead in his pasta. Poor guy, just trying to have some paschetti. And there's Death. So Dean gets closer and closer. However, the scythe starts to burn, so Dean drops it in pain. Death's like, "Oh, thank you for returning it." I can't tell if this guy's British or not. I really can't. I can't tell if this guy's British or not. But Death tells Dean, he goes, "Look, I want you to beat Lucifer because I'm bound to him." I love this because you can just feel his power. Dean is scared. Like, Dean is shaking and scared this whole time he's talking to Death. Death, meanwhile, is just eating a deep dish pizza. And when he tells Dean to eat it, like, Dean, we all know Dean, he's a foodie. Dean is scared. Like, he is scared to eat the pizza. I loved that they just make Death, you can just feel his gravitas and his aura of power. So Death tells Dean, I'll give you the ring. Right? And Dean, but first Dean's like, okay, cool, but what about Chicago? Because, you know, Death is like, he's got thunderstorms going on in Chicago, people are gonna die. And Death, like, you think, oh god, Dean's pushed his luck. Like, the look Death gives him, you think, oh god, Dean, you pushed your luck asking about Chicago. And Death just goes, I suppose I could stay. I like the pizza. It's like, oh, okay. So Death tells Dean, before I give you this ring, you're gonna promise me that you will do whatever it takes to put Lucifer back in the cage. And he goes, and Dean's like, yeah, of course. And Death goes, whatever it takes. You're gonna let your brother be possessed by Lucifer and jump into the pit. Because that was Sam's plan. And Dean goes, okay. Death gives him the ring and then gives him the instructions on how to use them. Meanwhile, Sam, Bobby, and Castiel go to the vaccine place. They destroy the vaccine with, like, explosions. Sam saves the workers there who aren't infected. He goes out of his way to it, and that's something that Bobby takes notice of. So when we get back, Dean now has, like the rings all formed together to make an object. And Bobby tells Dean, you know, maybe this is the only idea we got. He tells Dean what he saw, that, you know, Sam's a good kid. I saw him go out of his way to save people. And he asks Dean, what are you really scared of? Losing or losing your brother? And that's where the episode ends. Really good episode. I really like this episode. When they beat Pestilence, I'm like, already? But yeah, okay. Made sense with what we did with Death. I love the Death scene. The scene with Death in the pizzeria is fantastic. Oh my god. But I'm going to give this episode, we'll say, I think I'm really tempted to say a 9 out of 10. This was a really good episode of Supernatural. And the penultimate, I'm looking forward to the finale. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.